Another candidate who is also running for elected office is Liz Cheney, the daughter of former Vice President Dick Cheney. And she likened herself to Winston Churchill standing up to Adolf Hitler. Talk about delusions of grandeur. See, if you haven't been following Liz Cheney, she has announced that she's going to be putting together a bid for the Republican nomination for Senate in Wyoming against three-term incumbent Mike Enzi. The primary election is still about 11 months away, but she's not wasting any time. I think that Liz Cheney is able to live up to the hyperbolic standards of Newt Gingrich's delusions of grandeur. Remember, Newt Gingrich, we've talked about this many times, Lewis. Newt Gingrich has likened himself over time to the following people: Ronald Reagan, Abraham Lincoln, Margaret Thatcher, Woodrow Wilson, Henry Clay, Charles de Gaulle, William Wallace, Pericles, the Duke of Wellington, a Viking, Thomas Edison, football coach Vince Lombardi, the Wright brothers, and Moses. And Liz Cheney is wasting no time, at least trying to catch up to Newt Gingrich. This is according to the Jackson Hole News and Guide from Wyoming. And it says Liz Cheney filled her 90-minute speech and question and answer session with red meat for the conservative crowd. She compared herself to Winston Churchill standing up to Adolf Hitler and suggested members of both parties in Congress are hiding information about Obamacare. Yeah, I don't even know how to react to this, but let's analyze that. If she's like Winston Churchill, then who's Hitler in this weird analogy? I guess it's Mike Enzi, the current Republican senator from Wyoming, because she's standing up to him. Very, very odd, and it is reminiscent of Newt Gingrich's completely lack of reality-based ideas that he's like Pericles and a Viking.
Right. This is very strange stuff. I'm not sure who Hitler is in her reference. Maybe it could be the Republicans. It could be the Democrats. It could be Obama, although she usually doesn't say outrageous things like that. But, Newt Gingrich has done incredible things. And if you want to stay in the public eye, you can't just make all these references at once. They have to be done over a long career,
right?
Periodically. And Newt's a master.
Yeah,
and
that's the thing. You can't, in the same speech, liken yourself to, for example, Abraham Lincoln and football coach Vince Lombardi, right? It would be obvious pandering if you did it in the same speech. So you spread it out over time. One day you're like Margaret Thatcher, the next day you're like Charles de Gaulle, and then on another day you're like a Viking, and people start to build up this idea of who you truly are, and it really does take skill. I think Liz Cheney jumped in a little bit. She might have first wanted to compare herself to, I don't know, maybe like an astronaut taking the first steps on the moon or something like that. Work up to being Winston Churchill taking down Hitler.
Yeah, that was a pretty bold move.